And we're back. No, we're here. It's Monday. Trying to pull it out. I wonder if this does what I want it to do. It does. It does do what I want it to do. Automagically. Not that one so much. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Wait. There it is. Okay. Hello. I'm Doc Normal. It's Monday, June 12th, 2017. And I'm here with my special guest today, a U.S. men's team goalie, one of the greats of all time. Here, sitting next to me, Tim Howard.
Yeah, hi, my name's Tim. Don't
Actually,
be
you look
alarmed.
more like Guzman.
Well, I'm just telling them that the camera adds 200 pounds, so don't be alarmed. Just like the explosion and intro,
That's
we
right.
come rolling out on a Monday.
You look more like because he doesn't have hair, and he played the whole match last night.
Well,
Not Tim Howard, but Tim Howard doesn't have hair either.
Well, I'm all tuckered
How-
out,
Tim.
you know.
Anyway,
I'm a little tired. Last night was a doozy.
You're not a goalie.
No.
You're Jason Allen.
That's
as
what
it says on the thing.
That's what the ladies say downtown. I'm joking.
Wait, downtown?
I don't know. This is a Monday, man. This is just off the top of my
the
noggin.
ladies.
Yeah.
That sounds...
The ladies.
Okay.
Right now my wife's laughing, right?
That sounds like a line
Yeah.
from a 70s Marilyn Chambers film.
Easily, yeah. I bet that's what you tell the boys downtown.
Yeah.
How do you tell all the boys?
John Holmes.
Right.
Something about... I don't know. It's always a detective and some sort of jail time and turns into... Well, we don't need to get into that on a Monday morning, do we?
And then it turns into... yeah, I tell you, this morning I looked out the window and I said to myself, good Lord, is it June, right?
Yeah.
Because it's dark and grisly.
Okay,
it was like a November morning.
Okay, so let's read some texts.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because, if we don't check in with each other, we don't know if we're lying dead on 99 and not making the show.
Hey, I'm not saying it couldn't happen, so, I mean,
let's see. You text me something, and then no wonder it's not even a sunny summer morning.
No.
Ugh. Yep, pretty cloudy out there. Ugh. These are my responses. I needed the sunny mood bump today. Yeah, me too. All bumps are appreciated. LOL.
LOL. Don't forget the LOL. It's important.
Oh my gosh, it's 2017 and we're battling things from 1917.
Pretty much.
Anyway, so I looked at the news. Oh yeah. And then I was like, and then it was dark. It was just dark.
Folks, I'm going to take you in
June.
behind our pre-show production meeting. Here it was.
Sure.
You ready for this? Screw the news. It's all dark, so screw it. We're gonna go rogue.
I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, and then I thought, what is it we're missing that we need?
Yeah.
And I know exactly what it is. This is a day where Ramblin' Rod would come into your day. Am I right?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Jason, ring the bell? Do we ring the bell?
We ring the bell on that one. Any Ramblin' Rod reference gets a bell.
I mean,
there.
Coming in on the boat.
Yeah.
Vest full of buttons.
Yes.
We're going to watch some Wally Gator.
Yeah, he doesn't care it's Monday. He's beaten Monday back into a corner, right?
Oh, yeah, man.
Monday is cowering in the corner because
Ready
he's got
for
the
my
smile.
day.
He's got the smile contest going on.
Oh,
right?
my God, the smile contest.
And then, the fun thing about... Yeah, exactly. The funniest thing about watching the old Ramblin' Rod smile contest is counting the kids that had missing teeth in the front row. It was great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I probably, I think, was one of those missing teeth kid on the Ramblin' Rod show once.
It's a rite of passage, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do Ramblin' Rod.
Yeah, I forget.
My parents wouldn't let me go to Ramblin' Rod.
No.
No, they were afraid I was going to do something in the front row. They were afraid I was going to make a mockery of it, There's the kid in the carrot red hair running around on the boat, Yeah, they're not letting me.
What's your name? Jason. Where are you from? Oak Grove. What do you have for us today? Do you want to go downstairs?
Right.
No, we don't, Jason.
Do you have anything to tell the audience? Yeah, eat beep. Oh, I'm sorry. Can someone escort this red-haired kid out of here?
Oh, my gosh.
The kid with the red hair and buck teeth. Can you please... Yeah, let's go to Woody Woodpecker, please. Let's go Bugs Bunny right now. Stat.
I imagine you being the country boy sitting next to the city boy, and at some point someone's like,
Right.
Ramblin'. We'll just call him Ramblin'.
Ramblin'.
Ramblin's got to come over and go, son, quit gnawing on that kid's arm.
Right. We have a kid. We have a no-touch policy here, and you're literally harassing the entire front row. Oh, sorry.
You're touching me. I always do that.
Oh, yeah. We
Let's
need
move.
a little Libby here.
For some reason, there's no. I don't know. Well, we never have like a tape spot. I don't know what it is, but yeah, no.
we gotta put down a little tape for the mark. That way,
Yeah, but then
Libby
the
always
camera
hits
changes.
them.
So you totally ruined this because we were just talking about Ramblin' Ron,
Yes,
and that was a better.
it
thing
was
to talk
way
about.
better.
Gnawing on a little kid. I mean, he always came out in that wood boat. Didn't it at some point break down where because I remember it would come out
Yeah,
like a boat,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you'd be like, "Whoa!"
it's like the SS Minnow.
Yeah,
just comes rolling
He's
out.
doing the Fred Flintstone thing, walking,
Right.
walking with it. But I think at some point it just broke down. It wasn't. It just here I am in the boat. I've already docked. It's Fleet Week.
They're just moving the camera to make it look like the boat is moving, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I just thought, gosh, what a day for us to just have a vest full of buttons and
Right.
call in. You can have a smile contest, on Skype or something. Right? It's like,
You ever had those Ramblin' Rod questions, though, that you don't get the questions until you're an adult and think back, right?
usually after making love.
That happens, too.
It's like,
We talk about Twin Peaks moments, right? That's your Twin Peaks moment after
do you ever wonder about the Ramblin' Rod?
after climax. I like
anyone out there listening is at this point going, Ramblin' Rod. Ramblin' Rod. Do you guys get the joke? It's
Yeah.
like, we didn't know. I mean, he was a child. He's not with us anymore.
He was Michael Rod Anders.
Mr. Rod Anders.
Yeah.
He unfortunately passed away, I think, a little earlier than he should have.
Yeah.
I mean, well,
You know why, don't you?
of course, I keep a list of when people should pass away.
You keep
My
a list.
other job, the Grim Reaper.
Right. Right.
Hey, aren't you Doc Normal on that podcast? Yeah, and interestingly enough, I'm also the Grim Reaper. Oh, shit.
Hey, how come they replaced that show Curmudgeons with like Coffee with Grim Reaper?
But
Yeah.
that was a few years back, and
Yeah.
that was everyone in Portland was sad. There's a place, I want to say off of Belmont, a candy store that has his microphone and a thing. I took a picture of it. It's somewhere on my Instagram a few years ago. Walked in, was this candy store, I think, for the kid, and here's this shrine to Ramblin' Rod right there with his microphone mounted on like a thing and maybe an award kind of
like the
Peabody
old,
or whatever they give to.
It's like the old 24-hour Church of Elvis, right?
Yeah, but it was in this candy
Church
store.
of
This kind of
Rod.
retro candy store. And I took pictures and I was like, and they had kind of like a life-size thing of him with the vest and but yeah, he'd come out. Adults, we have all the nonsense going on. The kids, do they even have that anymore? We would have Wally Gator.
Yes.
It would just be like, okay, here I am, off the boat. Here's my buttons. Here's my vest. We're gonna watch some Wally Gator.
Right.
And you're like,
Wally Gator.
I love Wally Gator.
Right. And see, that's where, as a kid, you got your Popeye fix, you got your Bugs Bunny fix.
Popeye for
Yeah,
sure.
your Wile E. Coyote fix. Because I was one of those really weird little dudes that I wasn't voting for the Roadrunner. I was voting for Wile E. Coyote Super Genius.
Oh yeah,
From Acme, all those Acme products.
I liked Popeye. You played a lot of Popeye on that show. They had a lot of Popeye.
Yeah, I
You
like
know.
when he goes to Goon Island.
Yeah,
The goons were cool.
yeah. It was just
I self-identify with that.
Anyway.
I never got the attraction to olive oil, though. That was one skinny broad. And yet, him and Bluto, they're all falling all over themselves. Oh, olive oil. And I didn't get it. I was like, man, there must be slim pickings in Popeye Town because,
Well, I don't know.
I mean, if olive oil is the, if she is the paragon of,
Speaking of beaches,
Speaking of beaches.
And the paragon of beauty.
Yes.
Is that, would that be for a paragon of beauty?
Paragon of beauty, yes. The summit of...
Speaking of weird kind of comedic beaches like Popeye, which would be animated, or you would say maybe like non-animated.
Yeah.
Like maybe,
claymation or something.
No. I would say like say a group of people go out on a 3-hour tour.
Oh, Skipper and Marianne.
On a 3-hour tour. Yeah. So I was reading. Okay.
The weather started getting rough.
Eckes guy.
Yes.
The most interesting man in the world.
Yes.
Well, that guy has just written his autobiography.
The most interesting book in the world?
I don't know. I will pull it up. It better be in my save because I was checking it out. And it's probably not here. It's probably saved somewhere else, of course. I'll pull it up, though. Turns out he's an actor, of course. And he's was a Brooklyn actor coming up. He and Dustin Hoffman always had a rivalry.
Wow.
2 Jewish actors from Brooklyn. And he was just like, you're not gonna make it. And then he was like in his car, eating, living out of his car at some point, going, oh, that didn't work out so well.
That Hoffman.
But his best buddy,
as soon as he got the graduate,
Fernando Lamas.
No,
Fernando.
Yes, I love that.
Which is how
wonderful
he it was his inspiration for when he auditioned for the most interesting man.
That makes sense, total sense.
Fernando.
The smoking jacket sort of thing. You're in a lounge somewhere at low lighting. You got a lady on each arm. You got yourself a cocktail. You are the most interesting man in the world.
New York Post. I'm going to pull this up too while we're talking about this.
You look marvelous.
This is a great headline in the New York Post too. Okay. So this guy, this book comes out. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to leave it out as I pull this up here. Mm-hmm. He's friends with Fernando.
Yeah.
And
cue the ABBA song, Fernando.
No. Here we go. Most interesting man in the world. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I did not prep this.
I am going to write the most interesting book in the world.
But this is worth a discussion because some of the lines. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Just the headline alone. Here he is, right here.
Okay.
We know this guy. I never really got into this ad campaign, but I know some people did, and it was like, okay, so here he is.
It was
and
an
the headline in the
ad.
New York Post: "The most interesting man in the world," in quotes, "I effed them all."
Oh, jeez! Wow.
Yeah. So this guy's name is Jonah Goldsmith. Journeyman actor. He was in the short-lived crime drama The Law and Harry McGraw. Broadway star. Winds up dead. He'd just play, dead people showing up.
Yeah.
This is the book right here. Here's the book. Stay Interesting. I don't always tell stories about my life, but when I do, they're true and amazing. By Jonathan Goldsmith. Oh, I didn't put it on there.
All right.
Let's
check this out. There it is.
The button right. So there it is.
Yeah.
Stay Interesting. Lots of bikinis on the New York Post. You ever notice that?
I do notice that. They
It's always people in bikinis. Yeah. I'm trying to find the. He born in 1938 in the Bronx. I'm sorry. He was born in the Bronx neighborhood playhouse in Midtown. With Dustin Hoffman was his early nemesis. At one point, he was literally living out of his car, like before he got the Dos Equis thing. Wow. He was like that bad.
Couldn't have come at a better time.
So at one point, he would hang out at the Beverly Wilshire go ahead and talk, hotel. And what he did is he found out that lots of young starlets and up-and-coming starlets would go to the Beverly Wilshire hotel because they heard that Warren Beatty had a suite up there. So they would hang out in the bar to then meet Warren Beatty.
Excellent.
Meet in quotes.
Yeah.
And so this guy, Goldsmith, is that his name? Yeah, Goldsmith, would hang out at the bar and pretend he was Warren Beatty's friend. It's like, oh, yeah, he'll come down in a minute. Can I buy you a drink?
Oh, what a line. What a line. Look at you, Jonah.
But how does this all relate to... how does this relate to Ramblin' Rod, watching Popeye...
Oh, this is gonna be
therefore
awesome.
watching, Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Because Gilligan's Island would come on after that. And Gilligan's Island was basically a live-action cartoon.
If you tie all of this and wrap it in a bow, I think we should just get off the show and just end on that note because that's perfect.
According to Goldsmith, she was the most beautiful woman I ever had been with, he writes. She had so much stamina, I was afraid I would have a heart attack by the third or fourth round. She refused to stop. Him writing about his torrid affair with Tina Louise, who played Ginger on Gilligan's Island.
Wow, Ginger, she's a champ.
Boom.
Yeah.
The most interesting man in the world.
Yes.
And Ginger from Gilligan's Island.
Wow.
He also had an affair with Eileen Stritch, Broadway star, but and had one date with Judy Garland.
Oh, wow.
And heard horror stories about the Wizard of Oz. But anyway, yeah. But the big thing is he and Ginger, and he that's probably... you have the one that got away. It sounds like it. And then he hung out with Fernando Lamas. He and Fernando would have a what do I want to say? Afternoon coffee or lunch.
Yeah.
And they'd hang out with one, I guess his wife or whatever. And Lamas would sit in a smoking jacket by the pool.
Yeah.
Or monogrammed, because he had the monogram, and tell stories of his conquests to Mr. Goldsmith.
That is awesome.
And according to Mr. Goldsmith, Fernando pretty much was with every starlet in Hollywood. They'd bring up a name like, what about... It's like...
Been there.
Yep. Old Hollywood, baby.
Done that. Yep. Been there.
So, the story in the New York Post is a great read, I gotta say.
Wow. I'm going to have to go out and get that book just to read it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, gossipy kind of old Hollywood. But when it got to the Ginger from Gilligan's, it was Tina Louise. Wait, you mean Ginger from Gilligan's Island? It's like, oh yeah. I mean, it was like everything she played on on Gilligan's Island. The starlet,
chartreuse,
the beautiful, And of course, I was a Marianne guy myself.
Oh, you see,
that's always the thing. It's like
that's what I was going to ask you. Where did you come down on the Marianne versus Ginger? I was Marianne.
Yeah, me too.
Girl next door, she's wholesome. She's always baking those pies. I figure if I get in good with Marianne, I'm getting me some pie.
Yeah.
So
pies. Sure. Yeah.
Coconut cream.
Little cut off shorts.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Coffee with Sexist. No. We're just talking about Hollywood.
Right.
And that's an interesting, if you
read. It is.
I love old Hollywood stories.
Yeah.
I like the old Hollywood stories that are scandalous and who was with who.
Yes.
And all of that. I kind of like that old stuff.
We need more of that.
Well, we have a lot of it now. You have...
Yeah, but like golden age sort of what's going on back then.
Because that was before... That was before...
who's stooping...
internet, before TMZ, before all of that stuff. Right. It would just be like a gossip rag and a...
Robert Osborne. That would be a great show. He's telling us who is stooping Mickey Rooney, right? Yes, this is going to be
Well, that was always my image of the late Robert Osborne was...
Yes.
Interesting side note is when... Rooney was stooping one of the young hoofers. He got an ashtray thrown on his head. You'll see a little mark in some of the scenes.
Right. Coincidentally, he was not the only cat on a hot tin roof that Sunday, let me tell you. Anyway.
But yeah, I mean, and it was before the internet. Before TMZ, before Kardashians.
Yes.
which, these were real celebs. Like, celebrities were
Right, you had to actually do
Hollywood
something.
stars
Yes.
and starlets.
You actually had to do something.
And they're
Actors
gangster
ba-
boyfriends. That's
Well-
what makes it even more beautiful. They're gangster boyfriends.
Exactly.
Who's
Right.
it, Lana Turner and
Yeah.
yeah.
And the company they keep, right?
Yeah.
Bugsy Siegel, you
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
You look there in the corner booth, and there he is. He's hanging out. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to hear, like golden age
more
stuff.
coffee.
I mean, not nowadays.
If you could combine, we need to develop this show in
Yeah.
our heads,
Ooh.
a live show. If you can combine something like Ramblin' Rod coming out with buttons and a smile
man.
with Hollywood gossip.
No. Hi, kids. Welcome to Celebrity Stooping. I'm your host,
You could have
Ramblin' Rod Osborne.
You could have Ramblin' coming out in a smoking jacket with a cigar and a martini. Hey, kids. How are
Ramblin'
you
Robert
doing?
Osborne.
And every little kid wants to be him.
Yes.
It's like, I want to be the most interesting child host in the world.
Yeah, you're standing out there. You come riding out in your boat.
I mean,
Oh man,
that
is
like,
one crowd I would be in.
hey, kids, let's watch some Popeye now.
Right?
Or Gilligan's Island. Oh, I can't watch Gilligan's Island.
Can't watch it. It's a 3-hour tour. We're talking at least 5 max.
Yeah.
Come
Anyway, again, the title of the story was The Most Interesting Man. I effed them all.
on. Betty Grable meets Betty Rubble. It's great.
What's interesting is you
Yeah.
see the old Hollywood stars now, especially, now, you're lucky if they're alive anymore. But
Iconic, Cary Grant.
the old, like when Cary,
old Bobby Mitchum.
No, when I found out that Cary Grant took LSD, he experimented with LSD.
That's even better.
I mean, it's like you're like he's North by Northwest. He's like straight like Mr. Thorne. Hello, I'm here.
He's
you've
hallucinating.
got the
He's like, Judy. And he's all just whacked out of his mind.
You want. Right, you just want him to go in and go, maybe you've got the wrong guy. Have you been taking LSD? Because I have.
Do you see that sheep over there? No, you're not sheep. There's
But
no
I mean,
sheep.
it was like he was, this was before the LSD was illegal. This was when the LSD kind of came out, and it was like, miracle drug, you should try it, and all that. And then we talked about the microdosing on the show. And so they were experimenting.
Yeah.
It was...
Right.
I don't know.
That was the times. People,
But like stuff like that.
Yeah.
All the Hollywood Babylon stuff.
Yeah.
And then you see these old actors who are really old. And then you read their young biography, and it was like, ooh, you were pretty wild back then.
Right. Sipping cocktails in the Garden of Ollie, and you're just...
Yeah.
Yeah, Mary Pickford, I stooped her.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just, it was a different time.
Right.
I don't know.
You hear about all those guys, Bogart and all that, all the wild stuff.
Well,
going on.
Bogart, I think once Bogart met Bacall, that was kind of it for him, right?
Yeah, but I guess his early days, though, he was
old.
Yeah.
At that point, he was old, and, he was just chain smoking, because that's a plan, and playing cards with the crew and the buddies. As his young bride is like, kind of bogey.
Yeah. Well, if you got a hottie like Bacall,
around here, honey.
I'd be chain smoking too,
But yeah.
Bacall was one of those women where you had to take courses on the side just to keep up with her.
She was a pretty amazing lady. She was a good interview type person.
That smoky sort of guttural voice she had,
that's the problem, That's and this was back in the day when doctors recommended you smoked.
Like you say, I
mean, because
I notice your lumbago is a little out of whack. I suggest 2 packs of Lucky Strikes and all the fatty foods you can eat.
Yes. have you considered an extra martini with lunch?
As the doctor smoking himself, right? Here's I suggest Lucky Strikes.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you're not feeling peppish. So just a pack of these. Here.
You know what's good for the blood, boy? Nicotine. Nicotine is great for the blood. Yeah, thanks, Doc.
Yeah, it was...
LSD? Can I get that filled at any pharmacy?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I think the LSD in the end would probably be better for you than the cigarettes. I mean,
right. Thanks, Dr. O'Leary.
Yeah. I mean, considering, just don't drive a vehicle when you're smoking. That's happened. Just happened this weekend. In the car, got the windows rolled down just a tiny bit because it's a little too cold in June during Rose Festival because it's raining.
Right.
But I wanted a little fresh air.
Right.
And you know how it is when you're driving behind a car, it's a little bit, and people got their windows unrolled, and you're behind the car with some idiot smoking out the car, and it's just coming. You can smell it. Like back when I was growing up, I was a 3-pack-a-day smoker. As a kid, because that's all the secondhand smoke I was getting from my uncles and my grandpa and everybody. I mean, you were popping down a good pack or so of nicotine yourself,
easily
as a 8-year-old.
Right, you judged how much your friends' parents, how much they smoked by the color of their walls. If it's white, it's off-white, right? Yeah. It's that cream color,
The cream. Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, the little yellow
my step grandpa, as I used to say, if it wasn't nailed down, he'd smoke it. Or drink it.
He'd smoke it.
And that's after he'd do like 10 hours.
Move away from him. He's going to smoke.
After he'd do 10 hours of gardening, hard labor at 4 a.m.,
Wow.
Oh, and
work hard, smoke hard, right?
We loved him. He's just, one of those grandpas you had. He was step grandpa.
Yeah.
But one of those grandpas you had that you were like, you just loved him.
Yeah.
And my cousins, girls, they absolutely loved him. And it's this old, as crusty as you could imagine, little German guy.
Yeah.
And out there with the weeds, he was a landscaper, so he had trucks and cords of wood, always cords of wood.
Oh yeah.
Hunting and fishing and smoking. He pipes and cigars.
He's a men's man.
And what do you think he would have on his lunch table?
Don't feed me open lines like that. I'm thinking, okay. Everything's in clockwork, right? So the ashtray's probably, I'm thinking the ashtray's probably 11 o'clock. You got your beer. You got your lunch. You got, maybe over around 9 o'clock, get your pack of smokes, because you got to keep it close to the ashtray. But on the plate, it's either bratwurst,
Close.
It's either like some sort of German sausage,
Close.
sauerkraut,
Close.
and coarse brown rye bread. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, yeah.
And he's got a cocktail like a little after 2, in between 2 and 3.
Beer, but the
beer
rye
cocktail.
bread,
Butter,
of course.
Yeah, real butter, not that.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's not butter. We're going old school.
Limburger cheese. Oh, I'm not joking. This isn't like he ate Limburger cheese, liver sausage. I mean,
Braunschweiger.
Yeah,
he's got a whole plate of Braunschweiger there, and he's just smearing it on that. Yeah,
and pickles that my grandmother actually made from the garden. Pickles.
Yeah,
gherkin. I mean, it was just like. And now, as a little kid, you're walking in full facial into the smell of Limburger, pipe and cigar smoke.
It's an assault on the senses, right?
An assault on the senses, and yes, please pass the salt too, because you need lots of salt on that.
Back then, you got to have lots of salt. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think all the grandkids, when he ate lunch, had to run and go play outside and wait till Grandpa was done with lunch, because Limburger.
Yeah,
you've had Limburger.
It's a little malodorous. I've had Limburger, and it stays with you for a while too. It clings.
Let's put it this way: it's one of those lunches you could pack, and if you hate your coworkers, but I have found that Limburger, the smell is worse than the bite. In other words, if you actually are able to get to the point where you eat the Limburger cheese, it's actually milder than what it smells like for some reason.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, it actually wasn't that bad to eat, but it is considered, I think, the stinkiest cheese.
Oh, yeah. Limburger cheese, yeah. Limburger cheese, I mean, if you have like a really bad cold and you couldn't smell anything, your whole smell's off, you would eat the cheese and you'd say, hey, not bad, right? But if you smelled it, it ruined it. Before you could even get it to the mouth, you already, like, I don't know if I want to do this.
But this is the grandpa, right?
What he's doing.
I mean, all true. All 100% true.
It's old school, man.
It was as old school as it gets.
Yeah.
And then, you're hanging around with, especially when it's all these old guys sitting around and they're playing cards.
Oh, yeah.
And they're smoking cigars.
Right.
And you're a little kid. And basically, like I said, I was about a 6-pack a day kid.
Well, it happens,
Yeah.
Right, yeah. All the guys are sitting around the table. Maybe they got some pickled pig's feet, right?
Oh, yeah.
They got some pig's feet.
They did. That's a German. I said this before. First of all, Germans. Messiest, disgusting eaters. And also, the food pickled herring is the other one.
They're pickling anything.
Yeah, pickled herring.
Ooh, yes.
I can't.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not a
Did you ever?
Herring. Yes, I did partake in pickling. I never got into that. Although I'll say by
very Scandinavian. Actually, Scandinavian.
Yeah,
too.
mine was.
You've got Scandinavian. You're from
Norway. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pickled herring. That's big up there.
Oh yeah.
They pickle the lutefisk and the pickled herring.
Yeah, lutefisk. Oh my God, and you like soak it in lye.
Yeah.
Oh no. But the only thing worse is I've Scottish in me too, and I've never ever had haggis, and I never will.
I'll take some lutefisk and some with a side of haggis, please.
Oh.
Do you know?
Yeah.
I've got to get this. There's a vegan grocery store down there in Southeast, right across the street from Revolution Hall.
Okay.
There, there's like a little vegan place there, independent store, great place called Food Fight. I highly recommend it if you want to try out vegan stuff or you are vegan.
Yeah.
And they have different interesting things there, right? Things that you might not find anywhere else.
Yeah.
And one of the things that to this day I gotta just buy a can. In a can, I'm not sure if it's from Scotland or not, but it's vegan haggis.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I have no. I think I'll take a picture when I'm there, or I'll just get one.
Let's flash forward a few hours when Jason is on the phone calling them up and say, "Do you have?"
Actually, maybe heading out that way. So maybe homework on my list. Pick up a can of vegan haggis for.
All right.
For this week for the show, and we can
Feel Good Friday haggis.
Yeah. Vegan haggis. So
let me know what I can bring to the party.
I don't know. It's got to all be vegan.
BYOH.
Maybe we should do an episode where Jason tastes vegan food.
Sure.
So.
And my doctor is still. I've got a newer doctor, and she is trying to get me to go full on vegetarian.
I have a friend on Facebook.
I'm fighting it, but I have made such a seismic shift in the last couple months.
Right.
You would not even recognize it.
Then we're going to have to do this.
We got to.
It's
a moral imperative.
The thing you find out is, the whole. I'm like. I was always down, in between Grandpa Limburger getting my smoking in.
Right, yeah.
I was always down with, when I was a kid, we'd go to the Chinese food restaurant. Again, this is American. This is like as Americana white bread as you can get. And I would like Chinese food and things with fresh vegetables. Yeah. And it turned out as an adult, it was like, I like all that stuff. I like the broccolis and the vegetables and all that. And so I tend to enjoy that sort of thing. So vegan and all that to me is like a little tofu in there. Some people don't like it, fine. But what I found out now in 2017, there's so many crazy things that people can do with food and food products that they pretty much can make anything vegan. Now, whether or not it works out or not, or whether or not you think it's good. I mean, there's things I think are like, yeah, it's not so good. Cheese being one of them.
Yeah.
They make a whole bunch of nut-based
non-dairy,
cheeses, non-dairy, and people have a lot of problem with dairy, and that's one of the reasons I kind of wanted to go vegan. Is look, I love cheese.
Oh, who doesn't?
I like cheese, okay, but I wanted to get away from it to be healthier.
Yeah,
dairy stuff, and I already didn't do a lot of dairy anyway. But then I found there's all these cheeses that they make like out of nuts, cashews, and things, and they even can age them and so that it's actually tastes like a fine aged cheese, whatever. But they make all this crazy stuff. So I have a friend on Facebook down in LA went to some place that served a killer like burger that's vegan. All right. And I said, no, you got to go to this place in Hollywood. There is a place in Hollywood called Doomy's Home Cooking. Hollywood is like, it's off of like Hollywood and Vine. It's like right there.
Wow. Right next to the Rainbow Bar and Grill.
Well, yeah, you go off of, they got a subway there now and take off and you go down several blocks in L.A. It's like, hey, we're from Portland, Oregon. How are you? Is that a knife in your hand? No, it's actually safer than... than here. But anyway, but Doomy's, they've got all this home cooking food stuff that you would think that's just the stuff your doctor doesn't want you to eat. Right. It's all entirely vegan. Wow. They're world famous for, and they had to stop calling it this, vegan Big Mac. Like, the chef figured out how to make exactly a Big Mac
with a
sauce and you name it, but entirely vegan.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
I had to try it.
Yeah.
And
how was it?
Believe me, I haven't ate at McDonald's for like decades and decades. I cut that out because when I started trying to get healthy decades and decades ago, that was the first thing to go, hey, how about those burger joints? How about not? Right. Let's try to do a little fresh food and not the fast food and all that. So I tried this thing and it was like amazing. Like, all the people, I gotta stop saying like, people go in there and they're always like, this place isn't vegan, but they are. Yeah. And they have pastries and what I did have, I think they say that if you want, they'll put on some real cheese. That's the only thing if you want it. Gotcha. But mostly everything default is the appetizer I had to have was jalapeno poppers. Ooh. Vegan. Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, which isn't that hard to do.
I'm a sucker.
There's like a cream cheese stuff. You can do that. It wasn't, but they were tasty. So
but still,
yeah. So there's all this. So everyone thinks vegans are crazy. They're like, I'm gonna go out here after the show and start gnawing on some tree bark. And Jason's like, oh, you're getting some lunch there. No, it's like there's.
I won't say it hasn't happened, but no.
Exactly. But the vegan stuff.
No, I listen. I got
Doomy's in Hull. Look it up, and their Facebook page was
sponsored by.
Yeah, it was crazy, and so I told this guy, I said, if you're down in LA and you had that and you tasted that and you thought it was pretty crazy, because this is not a vegan guy. Yeah, I said, go find this place, Doomy's. Yeah, and check it out.
My mind was blown when I had the instead of Garden Burger, right? They had something called Garden Burger Grillers.
Yeah, and Garden Burger was Portland. Yeah, invented in Portland.
They had this grillers, their type of hamburger patty that's of course not hamburger. And my eldest brother, he doesn't eat meat, and he said, try this. If no one told you that this wasn't a hamburger, tell me what you think. All right, so grilled it on up.
Wait, so your brother is a vegetarian? Or?
Yeah, except his is by medical reasons. He can't have. Yeah. So he is a meatless guy.
The way before I just went full on. Yeah. I read things. I did some studies. I cut out the actual fast food burgers and all that, which is weird because then I become a vegan and it's like, oh, that's weird. I'll taste that burger. I don't do it every day though. Come on. But whatever. Mm-hmm. And what I found out is if you look at diets around the world,
Yeah.
Americans, not so good.
No.
America. In fact, there's something about obesity and now so many billion people around the world.
And they're all on...
But wait,
Yeah.
America is number one.
Oh, yeah.
USA.
With a bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
they go to like Asia and places like that.
Right.
And the funny thing is they have these fantastic diets. One of the things is the red meat or pork or whatever, small portions of that. And that was the study. It was like, well, they'll eat that, but they don't eat nearly as much as Americans would do. And lots of rice and other, the food pyramid thing.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays, I mean, it's meant to complement, not be the star attraction,
and
right?
what's America's answer to that? Atkins, eat all the meat. I'm gonna shove that meat. I'm gonna get one of those big, plaster guns and just shove that meat down your throat.
I mean, with the Atkins diet, you don't need any special equipment. All you need with an Atkins diet is like a sausage grinder.
I'm telling you,
a meat cutter and sausage grinder.
People will argue with me.
Yeah,
argue away. It's not good. And the paleo diet, it's like, oh, it's because there's caveman and stuff. That was some of the crappiest science you could ever say. Because, it actually turns out cavemen eat berries, nuts, and roots. Check it out, because we can now scrape the DNA and residue off the Neanderthals' teeth these days.
Right.
And guess what we're finding out? We found vegetarian Neanderthals, and probably not. I mean, it was basically like, again, if you can't find something to hunt and kill, you're going to go eat something else.
On the human line, meat eaters were actually pretty late on the line. It was much more... vegetable.
Lots of foraging and vegetables and all that. So, I mean, that whole thing was based on just nonsense science. I'll tell you that if you want to see the best nonsense science that's like, science
junk
tells
science,
us. Junk science.
Yeah.
Dietitian, diet stuff. I mean, there is some stuff, the stuff we learned back in the day. The food pyramid, you need this and this for energy, you need protein.
News groups.
When your diet, when you're growing up, when you're a kid, you're basically a garbage can. You're just shoving it down because you're building a new body.
I know I was.
Yes, but when you're an adult, you're slowly dying.
Welcome to adulthood, kid. You're slowly dying.
You are.
And pass me the...
Jason?
Yeah, I feel it.
You and I are both, some of us, quicker
I feel
than
it
others.
every day.
But we're dying. We are not replacing as many cells as we are replacing.
No.
That didn't make any sense. But when you're growing, when you're a kid, which is why, like, you see your teenager, and they eat, 6 Big Macs, Grandpa's Limburger cheese, and accidentally suck down his cigar, too. And you're like, what are you doing? And they're, like, rail thin.
Yes.
And if they play sports, it's even worse, right?
Yeah.
Because
my kid is the picture of health, right? He's muscular, he's skinny, looks good. That kid, man, when I see him at the dinner table, I literally want to rename him Hoover.
Can I have another pie?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much...
But that's kind of how our body... I mean, well, first off, it is good to teach your kid good nutrition from the beginning.
Sure.
I've always done that. But at the same time, understand that when kids are growing, they're growing. They're eating for growing.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, that's what's sad is when you see kids that are, I can think of ourselves. I played sports, but I still was in the husky mode.
Husky.
Right?
Right.
Then I thinned out. By the time I hit the 16, then it all went... It was like all that hiking and sports.
Mine was the opposite. When I started playing football, that's when everything started packing on.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're probably eating too much.
I was a thin kid. But no, I mean back then.
I don't know.
Back then, though, you needed. For football, you need to be kind of beefy,
Yeah, right,
You
exactly.
So kid, go eat all the eat the pasta, tons of it. Go.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, I mean, you still gotta balance it. But the problem is that once you become an adult, and we're talking at some point in your 20s, definitely when you hit the big 3-0,
right?
Which is today's 17.
That's right. Yeah.
You things change, metabolism changes, all that. I'll tell you, that's what happened to me.
Yep.
When I hit 30, I just ballooned out.
But you feel
I look
it,
like
though.
my grandfather who died of cancer.
Grandpa, that's just doc.
Diabetes, and, you name it. He smoked, he drank, he ate. You name it, he died from it. And I looked at the picture and I'm like, oh wow, I'm like 30 and I look like him in my 30s. And so I was like, maybe not an extra trip or trip at all to Carl's Jr. anymore,
Right. I'm going to tell you something that's going to shock the heck out of you, all right? Well,
I'm waiting to be shocked.
Oh, yeah. A few weeks ago, a month ago or whatever, not a few weeks ago, I guess, I was having some health problems, and one of the doctors thought maybe you're a ticker, right? So I said, all right.
Only a true curmudgeon refers to his heart muscle as a ticker.
Is the old ticker? The old ticker.
Is that Red Fox, right?
Yeah.
From
Sanford and Son. Elizabeth. It's the big one.
It's a big one. Look. Oh, I love me some old Red Fox.
Anyway. Oh, yeah. So I'm in the doctor.
So you got a ticker?
A ticker. You got to take a look at the ticker. So they're running every test known to mankind, right? And so they shot me up with this fluid, of course, when they do the MRI. That way they can see if you're clogging or whatever, right?
Can I just have a little LSD for...
Right. Settle me down. Forget the lorazepam.
Fun.
Something.
Make your face look like a banana.
Yeah. Oh, I got to.
So they shot you through full of.
Thank you for keeping me on track because I could have gone off in left field there. So they shot me at the dye, That way, when you're under the MRI, if you're clogged arteries or whatever. And so they come, like a day later, get a call from the doctor. Hey, guess what, man? What? She's like, your heart looks great.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? She goes, there's absolutely no clogging, no nothing. I mean, you're running on full cylinders. And I'm thinking to myself, at that time, I'm like, out of all the crap I've eaten in my life, I mean, people treat their bodies like a temple. I treat mine like a frat house, right? And so when she said, no, everything is great, I was like, you're kidding me.
Right.
There is no way of all, you told me this after I ate the dozen of Krispy Kremes, right? But in at that moment, though, when she said that, for other people it'd be like, I just escaped the big one. Right. This is great. For me though, it was a
super burger.
Right. No, for me it was a wake up call.
Yeah.
I was like, it's time to quit while I'm ahead, right? It's time to start eating healthier and quit.
Jason.
So
this is God calling.
Right. God, is that you?
I sound like Sean Connery today.
You do, Sean. Can I call you Sean?
No, you will call me God.
Oh, big G or little G?
That would be big G, big O, big D. Now listen, Jason, I gave you a second chance.
And a third and a fourth, yeah.
Don't F this one up.
You know, God, that's a pretty tall order for me, right? Don't F it up.
I gotta go.
Yeah. Okay, see you later.
I gotta go talk to Putin now.
Gotta go Putin. Right. Thank you, God.
It's Monday.
Yeah, you ever seen that Animal House where the bunny comes popping through your window? Thank you, God. Yeah.
Yeah, oh boy, that's one I gotta rewatch. It's been a while.
It's that Oregon theme to it, right?
Animal House, filmed in Eugene.
Faber.
Yeah, I don't know if the house is still there now, but I remember years ago you'd go and...
The Delta House.
You'd drive past the actual frat house that
Delta
they used.
Chi. Mm-hmm. I love it.
Gosh, I'm like... The ticker's going. No, I'm just belching. Oh no, it's just gas.
This ain't angina. You know, next thing you know.
Well, that would always be the thing. I think I'm having chest pains. I'm having chest. Oh,
Cut to the rocket.
That just didn't go down so hard. Heartburn. Yeah. So the ticker.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yep.
You should do good things for it. Certainly, like the vegetarian and they talk about the cholesterol or whatever you get. I never worried so much about that.
I mean, if you're eating the right stuff, I mean, it's going to fall in the line, right?
And then in the world of crap science and dietary,
not junk science, it's crap science.
Well, what do? They go out, they study Asian diet, and they go, look, this is all the right proportions. You have some rice, you have a little protein and meat, because you don't, as an adult, you actually don't need all that protein, because you're not building. You're not growing. I mean, you could grow another person. A head pops out. It's like, well, I'm eating for two now. Something's in my chest.
Doc, nice to meet you. Who's your conjoined twin?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I believe I'm going to birth something out of my chest. But
It's like Alien, right? Boom.
So you're not doing that.
No.
So they go to Asia. They do that.
Yeah.
Of course. When China and those places, they smoke like chimneys.
Right, yeah.
So you're like, wow, they live a long time. They eat this diet, but they're constantly
It's the yin
smoking.
and yang, right? I mean, they're eating healthy,
Apparently
so
so.
they're doing 2 packs a day.
But the cholesterol thing was always funny because they do these studies and they go, the French.
Yeah.
Now let's talk French cuisine. True French cuisine. It is like German, meat, potatoes, heavy cream.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you think of French things, you think of meat and some cream and some potatoes and some vegetables.
Right.
I mean,
very starchy, very...
But meat.
Yes.
Lots of pork rolled, wrapped and things, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
it's like pork pork sautéed in duck fat.
Well,
right?
Exactly. The whole duck thing. We don't even go there. Foie gras and all that, Boy, I was like, any of my vegan friends are like, bah! It's like, I know, veal and all that stuff. This is why we're cool. But all of those things that they make, not exactly heart friendly.
No.
And then what do they do in France after you eat a meal?
Smoke them if you got them.
That's wonderful, right?
Yeah.
But they're like, the French have healthy hearts because they're washing it all down with wine.
Right.
Bordeaux.
It's those tannins.
Spoonful of cholesterol, alcohol. Spoonful of cholesterol,
right.
Alcohol. And some pie and a cigarette,
And a cigarette.
And they're still supposedly living longer. So I don't know. I think some of that study is bizarre. But that was that whole like, you should have a glass of wine a day or something to help your heart and wash out the cholesterol. Right. How about just have a healthy diet and I've always toyed with this idea.
Yeah.
Like if I knew that, I'm about to hit the wall. Right?
Yeah.
I put it in a nice way.
Sure.
Like if I gotta stop saying like. Today's
there's a reckoning coming.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doctor Who comes down and goes, you've got 3 weeks. Something like that.
Right,
Who knows?
Right.
Like, is it the thing where you would just go out and go, I'm buying a pack of cigarettes, I'm getting my Big Mac,
Okay.
I got a bottle of Jim Beam.
I haven't seen Doc in a couple weeks. What's going on with him? We're going to kick in your door and find you in a corner with Jim Beam and Big Mac, a bunch of empty, and not the new, like, paper wrappers. Oh, no. It's going to be the old
Marlboros.
styrofoam. Yeah, Marlboros and styrofoam Big Mac wrappers. And just, got any more red meat?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, I could just keep going. Who's this? This is my girlfriend. I met her down on the corner.
Right.
Just like would be like, what are you listening to? A little AC/DC, and I don't know. I don't think that's what happens. I think you'd just be healthier and.
Well, I'll tell you what kind of dude I am, right? listen, if that ever happens, and you say, "Hey, the AC/DC's on," I'll say, "Hand me that Big Mac," and oh yeah, by the way, for those who are about to rock, we salute you.
Yeah,
And,
I don't know.
That's the kind of guy I am.
There's a Mark Twain story,
Okay.
and I've always been meaning to look it up to do it right because I'm always afraid when I say it.
Yeah.
It's a story
Love me some Samuel Clemens. Yeah.
Who was that actor who played Mark Twain? Very famous.
Is it Holbrook?
Holbrook.
Hal Holbrook.
Hal
Yeah.
Holbrook. Famously in, I want to say, the 60s, 70s, he would do a one-man Mark Twain.
Right.
As Mark Twain. And like with the sayings
The
and all
white
that.
suit and everything.
Yeah,
he's coming
Mark
out.
Twain. One of the great American literature thinkers. He was like really put us on the map at that point. You know, America. Well, you know, Hawthorne and a few of those.
But he was like this homespun sage.
Yeah.
Right?
Very American, like
Very.
drawing. And so Hal Holbrook did a Mark Twain with the makeup and everything and did this. And I remember seeing it wasn't Holbrook, but it was somebody else who was doing the Mark Twain interpretive. And apparently Twain had this wonderful bit that he talked about this old lady who's on her deathbed. And so he comes in, and the old lady's on her deathbed, and he says, "Well, what about your life? You know, what are you doing?" And she said, "I have gone to church every week. I do not smoke. I do not drink. I'm not a glutton. I take care of myself." And she's kind of lamenting, you know, you would think
all that
living,
time that
I don't fornicate. So you would think that, God, you would think that I would shine down, but I'm here on my deathbed, you know. I'm not telling it in the way Twain's answer was, "Ma'am, I see you as a sinking ship without any cargo to put over the edge."
Right, yeah. Yeah. If you're going to go, at least have stories to tell, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, so I was always like, yeah, you know, that is right, isn't it? That's kind of the thing. Like, if you're like, you're not doing so well, what can I give up?
Right.
At some point, you're
at this point, you're down to breathing,
running marathons, right? You're eating bark, drinking,
right,
certain water or whatever, and it's like, I don't know. I got nothing to give up. So
yeah, but I mean, one could argue though that on your journey, if you're very healthy, you're going to have a better journey than the guy that, you know, very rarely says, you know, I've smoked 3 packs for 60 years. And, you know, like George Burns, right?
Yeah.
Had those cigars until he's like 101. Very rarely do you hear about that anymore. Usually, you know, people have had these stents put in their hearts or the pacemaker and
there's always the famous cases of people who are the epitome of health, and
like Jim Fix.
Yeah,
you know,
Jim's Fix, and then boom, you know. But that can be other things too. I don't know in his
those
case.
Those are the outliers, though, dude. I mean, it's all the ones you don't hear about. That's the reality.
Well, when you have athletes that suddenly drop dead, you're like,
yeah.
You know,
it wasn't the roughage; it was the steroids.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Sadly, in some cases,
like that old joke. When's the next time you're gonna meet? Remember back during the Cold War, you know, when's the last time you're gonna meet elderly East German swim team person? Never. Never.
So, a couple of news items. I'm not sure what we should go for here. There was sports or... Yeah, now, I was going to mention this.
USA Mexico. We got to talk about that. That was...
We're going to go in it?
Well, we can at least just mention it.
Yeah.
You know, gloss over it. USA versus Mexico World Cup qualifier. Now, I got to admit, I'm kind of new to the soccer scene.
You are.
And, but yesterday's match... especially the last, when it got down to the end of regulation and then, you know, going on the stoppage time, talk about heart and mouth. Holy cow. Every corner kick, you're like, oh, this is it. This is where, you know, Mexico is going to just rip out USA's heart again, right? And the U.S. God bless them, man. They hung on. And totally, you're right. Bruce, the coach.
Bruce Arena?
Yeah, Bruce Arena. His total.
Oh, here it is right here.
And my wife's like, why are they playing so conservative towards the end? And I'm like, no, you don't get it. Live to fight another day. Take your 1-1, because even a 1-1 tie, right? You get your point, and it is, for the U.S., it is a moral victory.
The way, a lot of reasons, though, and the way the table worked. I mean, Mexico's on top.
Yeah.
With almost, not quite, but almost twice the points.
Yeah.
They're the heavy favorite. U.S. isn't, and U.S. is battling for second in the table, and so U.S. got 4 points on this gig because they took care of Trinidad with a win, and they get a point,
Tobago.
and they get a point out of this tie.
Yes.
They got the early goal, and they're in hostile territory. They're in this Aztec Stadium.
Oh yeah,
in Mexico City.
You're in their Mecca, and if I remember right,
87,000 people that thing holds. They're saying that maybe it wasn't quite 87,000, but it looked pretty packed. Yeah. The stadium's at 87. Soccer stadiums are gigantic,
huge. Yeah.
You
think Cowboys Stadium and not,
it doesn't beat any of the soccer stadiums. Spain, go to Spain
or Brazil.
I once did that. I how you just start getting a notion and you start Googling and Wikipedia. Yeah. It's like largest stadiums in the world,
right?
And they're like soccer stadiums. Yep. I can't remember where Azteca lands, but I think it's in the top 10.
Yeah,
but you go to Spain, like you said, Brazil, or you get like
Portugal has a huge one too, right?
Yeah, Portugal. Well,
outside of Lisbon,
Spain, Portugal, kind of soccer's not big there. No. Yeah, but anyway, the U.S. came out. I think I got it right here. Yeah. Courtesy of Fox.
If I remember right, the last time they met, I think it was back in November, U.S. got thumped.
Yeah, but they've historically playing in this stadium, the U.S. men's team.
Yeah.
Several years back, we got a goal there. So there's been moments where we've got it in there, playing in the Mexico. But we really either wanted a tie or a win. Win was a long shot. But boy, we got the tie, and they played a strategic game, and it was an exciting game too. It was a nail biter, like you said at the end there, where Mexico had possession and was putting a push on. It's like defense, we're all just like, come on, just hold on to this tie. Because in soccer, that's the thing about soccer that some people, sports fans, don't like about soccer is
it's a tie.
Not in a finals championship situation where you have to define a winner and move on. Right. So you have take care of that, but in some general play and qualifying play, you can get a tie.
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes. You get points out of it, and so it was good all the way around for a men's team.
Yeah.
I don't know how it would impact Mexico so much. And there was some crazy, both teams had attempts on goal. There was a Mexico attempt that was in. I mean, it was in the goal. But it was one of those that just was so powerful. Yeah. So powerful. And it just had it been just slightly lower, and it hit the the bar up there, so at such a weird angle that it spun out and then bounced off the field, and the goalie committed, and our goalie was stood up and was looking around. He didn't even know where the ball was at that point, and boy, the defenders did great. In addition to offense, but U.S. team's defense was on top. I was with my dad. We were celebrating his birthday, and he came to, how's defense going? It's like, oh, it's good. It's an exciting game. Yeah. It was just really good one to watch. I was going to...
Yeah.
I think I have...
Very fun game, yeah.
Here, this one. If you're on the thing, you can see it. Here is the U.S. goal. Oh, see, it just doesn't want to... That's how far the U.S. goal. That's the U.S. Oh, maybe I should put it up on the actual... Let's try this again. Put this up. No, not these guys. See, it won't let me back up.
There we go.
There we go. Is it going to let me? Okay, look. Just, here's the U.S. goal. Oh, yeah. Come on, clean it up. Clean it up. You can barely see it. There.
From downtown, man.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, there's a replay. That's Bradley, the captain. He's 11.3 yards away from the Mexican goal. Look at how far that goal is. That was the U.S. goal. So that was a big one. So there you go. I liked Fox because they had, and I'm not sure what his name is. They always have Alexi, but they have the guy who famously yells "Goal!" They even had him yell it. So they're tied, I think, second in the tables, or I think we're.
I believe they're second seed.
Costa Rica, and then Mexico on top. So I'm not sure what the next game is, but we'll keep it posted. But that was an exciting sporting event. It was well worth watching. And then I didn't watch it, but I saw last night the Penguins.
Yeah,
took the
I totally missed
Stanley Cup,
totally
and that's a repeat though.
Totally missed it.
Right? They just repeated their Stanley Cup.
They were the Predators in Nashville.
Yeah, that was in Nashville. Was it? Yeah.
I totally missed that game.
And then the other big sporting news is tonight. We have Cleveland and
at
the Warriors
at
Golden State. So probably the smart money would be Golden State. We would think puts it away.
Cleveland, though, Cleveland's going to come playing because even though they're down 3-1, I mean they're now got that high because they won. But I gotta believe Golden State at home is gonna.
Actually, LeBron personally swapped out the Cavaliers with the U.S. men's soccer team in a hope that might mix it up. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, is that Nagby guy? Is that him on the court?
He played a little bit. It was an interesting lineup. In fact, the coach got people were questioning the coach's lineup, Bruce Arena's lineup last night. But I and others felt it was a rather strategic lineup.
Yeah.
Like I don't think. He might have been gone, but there were some main players, and Tim Howard was not in goal last night. He was on the bench, so Guys moving stuff around, getting ready for the Olympics, which you asked last night.
Yeah.
Or actually, Jay-Z was there. He asked me last night. He was asking me a bunch of questions, many of which I can't answer. But 2018 World Cup, next year. Literally, I think it's June, starting mid-June to July.
1 year away.
So 1 year away in Russia.
Ooh.
2018.
Ooh.
Yep.
You know Trump's going to be there for that.
Yeah, right. I don't even think he knows what a soccer ball is.
Probably not.
The other big news in entertainment, and none of us follow this, I think, but the Tony Awards were last night, and I didn't watch it because I was catching up on Twin. That was my homework because I've been so busy. I binge watched, I think Saturday night, got caught up on my Twin Peaks, The Return, and then last night was a new episode, so that's been a lot of fun. But the Tony Awards. Mm-hmm. So there's a picture of Bette Midler.
Yes.
Also in the New York Post, Mike Riedel. Love him or hate him.
Shut that crap off.
The Tony Awards. Biggest winners and losers. I don't know. I haven't been following it that much. Bette Midler, to the surprise of absolutely no one, won the Tony for her performance in the smash revival of Hello, Dolly. I think that's like the biggest takeaway from the plays is Hello, Dolly is back, starring Bette Midler. I mean,
Hello, Dolly.
I mean, imagine that. Imagine Bette Midler in a revival of Hello, Dolly. It's hard to imagine in your head, right? No, she's great, and she obviously would do it. Kevin Spacey was the host, so I should check out the replay. Apparently, I read something that he came out in drag for one moment in there and kind of messed with people's heads. Yeah. And then I sort of went down the path of there was some articles about gossiping about Kevin Spacey's personal life, which I'm just like,
who cares?
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the coolest Kevin Spacey movies. I know a lot of people will be going towards, Usual Suspects. Me, though, I like the Bobby Darin biopic he did.
I have never seen that.
That is a fantastic
I've never seen
movie.
it. What's it? When? Wow.
Yes.
Huh.
I can't remember the name of it. But such a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to find out the name of it because I spaced the title of it. But he did a lot of the original singing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays Bobby Darin faithfully.
Wow.
And really cool. Very cool movie. That's a homework for all you Bobby Darinites out there.
I would watch that for sure.
Yeah, because, think about it. This guy goes from rock and roll, splish splash, I was taking a bit, right? To Mac the Knife.
Gosh.
You know?
Yeah,
Talking about reinventing yourself. Almost a Conway Twitty, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah. There's some gossip on the Kevin Spacey front there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. It's like, whatever. Okay, so that's the Tonys.
That's the Tonys, folks.
Because we don't have a Tonys expert here. You need someone in New York, going to the plays and all that.
Believe it or not, I know of someone who could do that. I got to get on the horn.
Yeah.
I went to high school with him. He was in choir with me.
Need that.
I won't say his name publicly over the air.
Yeah.
But he actually works on Broadway.
Yeah. Yeah.
He helps write the music and do the scores. He's won numerous awards. Believe it or not, yeah.
First time I ever went to New York.
Yeah.
We had friends who were on a Broadway show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we went to New York, my girlfriend and I at the time, stayed in the apartment, and this lady was the dance captain, and which is kind of she had a featured performance in the show.
Wow.
So she would come out and do a dance. It was this tap dancing show. It's like an all black thing. It won Tony Awards and you name it.
Cool.
And she was the dance captain, which is also, she has her thing, but she's also the wrangler. Like, someone's hungover, so we need to call the understudy dancer, and that happened a lot on Broadway.
It happened.
Interestingly enough, some guy just disappeared, and someone saw him on the street. Stuff like that. It was crazy. So
Charlie's on the bender. You need to.
We stayed with her. We literally got there, didn't know where to go, and ended up backstage at the Broadway show. I believe this was the Minskoff, I think. It was the theater, which is one of the big Broadway theaters. Yeah. We're literally there from Portland with bags, backstage at a major Broadway musical, like probably one of the major Broadway musicals happening at the time. Not even probably, it was.
Yeah.
Stay with our bags going, we're friends of Diane. Hey, do you know? The security's like, yeah, just a minute, we'll go.
Yeah.
There's just a couple white people out here for you. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, bring them in.
Couple honkies out front.
Walking. So we're sitting backstage, going, we don't know where to go.
Yeah.
And she comes backstage, she's like, here's my keys, here's the address, just go take a cab, go down to Midtown, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And we're just standing there backstage watching the show from the backstage perspective.
Wow.
And then, of course, eventually we got tickets and the show. But that was when I was hanging out with a lot of famous dancer people.
Nice.
Not that I was a dancer or anything, but it was very interesting. Lots of history. Guys talking about, Count Basie and I, we'd do this thing, and I'd come out and do a dance, and the Count Basie band, and I'd just be like, wow, being the jazz, being the,
I would
jazz.
Eat that stuff up.
Yeah. It was
tell me the stories. I want to know more.
Yeah. It was, so there was that. So that was the first time in New York. And then it was just all hanging out with people from Broadway, dancers, singers, And this was This was right before the pre-Giuliani New York.
Gotcha.
So it was just at the end of when Times Square was strip joints.
Just a little seedy.
And
the Ed Koch version.
Houses, porn houses, movie houses that showed porn and that sort of thing. And like you walk down the street and guys literally with the coat, hey, you want to buy a watch? Literally. He was like, gosh, maybe. How much? $10? Can I get one for $10?
It says this one is a Rolex.
Here's the thing. Had I been smart enough, I could have brought down a watch. I found it last week. I was going through some stuff. I have my Rolex from that trip from New York because I had to get one.
We got to.
They were like $10. I mean, I think I'd shoot the guy down to $10.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's Yeah. And so it was like, so I have my souvenir is as you would say a Rolex watch bought in Times Square from a guy out of a jacket. Like, you want to buy a watch? And the first thing I said is, I'm from. Right. Okay. I'm not that dumb, but I said, I'm from Portland, Oregon. Is that a real Rolex for $10? Well, of course it is, kid. You know, he's like, I got a live one here. Sure
it is.
And the guy I'm with, friend, her husband, he's like, it's like, dude, I know. This is a souvenir.
Right.
I mean, I got some souvenir cash to buy off the streets of New York.
Yeah.
Different contraband items because we're in New York.
You got to.
But Giuliani shut that all down.
Yeah.
Shut her down.
Yeah.
Now Times Square, last time I was there taking pictures, and it's like tourists, Disney. It's weird. It's like, I mean, it's
all turned corporate.
Nicer.
Everything's it's nicer and it's clean. Heck, you can have picnics there.
NBC, Matt Lauer's out there or something. I don't know. And Roker.
You see Conan, right? Conan's walking down.
Yeah, I don't know. But this was the still like the last bit of New York in the set, like when we watched those movies, like The French Connection or whatever. It wasn't cool. It had gotten slightly better. Gotti was just flying out the plane. I'll never forget. I got a New York Post front page, and Gotti. I think it was one of his. I'll have to look up the date. I think it was one of his last acquittals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hanging out at the old Ravenite Social Club.
Right on the cover.
Yeah.
So this was.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. I was going to say 89, maybe something like that. I don't know.
That's about time frame. Yeah. When things started.
Yeah. Giuliani came in there and cleaned everything up. But it was kind of cool to see culturally that New York that we had been given an image of, especially in Hollywood movies, and that kind of the seedy
Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
What are you talking about? Come here.
Fort Apache, the Bronx.
Yeah.
That whole...
Well, I think it's a little bit off the beaten path. I mean, we're talking Manhattan, Times Square.
I'm talking just the whole New York vibe.
More just like the strip clubs and stuff, and the dudes with the trench coats going, you want to buy a watch?
Right.
You want to buy a scarf? You want to buy, I don't know, some utensils? I got knives.
Got what you need.
I got what you need. You need a Saturday night special? No. They weren't selling guns, but...
Hey, you over there with the slice of cheese pizza. Got a Rolex for
you. Oh, they had like... I probably bought a leather jacket there, too. They had... No, in those big cities like San Francisco's got it, L.A., New York, where you go to this gigantic warehouse and you think to yourself, if there were a fire here, probably 800 people would die immediately, right? Yeah. It's like one of these garment warehouses where it's like...
Triangle shirtwaist fire of 19...
your girlfriend's there and Robert De Niro's like, just go in the back here. Get yourself a couple dresses. In the back. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Pick them out.
It's like, wait a minute. I know you.
Like
don't go on the back and get the dresses, hon. I don't think you'll come back.
Right. Did you get a little button that says I love, I heart NY? Did you do that?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
But it was fun. It was like, we wanted to see more shows, but it's really, even then it was hard to get in, do stuff. I was like, maybe see David Letterman.
Ooh.
Oh boy,
Letterman.
And I have late night stories of that trip.
Gotcha.
I was this was pre-internet. Well, it wasn't pre-internet, pre-web.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I was buying a watch for hard-earned $10 on the streets while
Rolex,
Tim Berners-Lee was doing hard work on the HTML spec over there in Switzerland. Life choices.
Yeah.
But Tim Berners-Lee invented the web, and Doc's got this cheap-ass Rolex, fake Rolex. But
Yeah.
I was introduced to late night because it was always late nights. I mean,
Oh.
these are Broadway people, right? This isn't like wake up at 6 a.m. No. You've been at the show. Your show closes. It's like midnight. You go 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Oh,
and probably
yeah.
you're eating dinner.
Yep.
And it's New York. This place never sleeps.
Yeah.
Then you go out to the bar, have these giant martinis. People are
Right.
singing, playing the piano. Oh, come on, sing us. It was literally like that. It was. Come on, do a song. Do a song. Not me.
Right.
But oh no, come on, okay, I'll sing a little Billie Holiday. It was like one of those, and you're like, wow, this is the life of, like what we talked about last time, the life of a hoofer, of an entertainer.
Right. Ain't no banker's hours going on there, man.
No, it's entertainers. They're
Yeah.
all like drinking and singing and dancing after the show,
Wow.
and so we're doing that, and then it's like get home. It's really late. Turn on the TV, try to fall asleep. I'm like on the couch or whatever, little apartment.
Sure.
Rent control. Mm-hmm. And I got my first glimpse of public access New York, Manhattan.
Yeah.
It makes Jim Spag look like Ramblin' Rod.
Right.
Trust me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I mean, you thought that Jim Spag, famously Portland, Oregon, Happy Doodles.
Gosh.
Yeah, no. This was. Oh boy, it was pretty much all.
Oh boy.
Late night.
Yeah.
Cable.
Yeah.
And they had lots of channels. It's New York's Manhattan.
Oh, yeah.
It was all escorts advertising
Jeez.
and showing you what they had to advertise.
Wow.
And they were beautiful.
Okay.
And it was very forward in the thinking too.
Well, yeah.
I mean, as far as I remember one phrase which I cannot share. I've shared this on podcast late night, but I cannot share the one advertisement that I will never forget.
Okay.
It's like and the lady's there, and she's there, beautiful hair, and the camera's slowly panning down on her, and she basically says, "Hi, boy. You wanna me?
Wow.
How about as the camera pans down, you?"
Wow.
And about that point, you got the torso shot.
Right. There ain't no beating around the bush.
Yeah, and it was like
Literally.
she had the equipment.
She had the technology and she had the know-how.
Yeah, so that was interesting. I mean, it was like, I'm
She had the
still
tools.
an innocent adult at that point. And I'm like, okay, wow, that's on television. Well, there you go.
Doc, who you calling at 3 a.m? Don't worry about it.
Well, didn't like
Go back to sleep.
This morning show is supposed to be like all flowers and hearts and Ramblin' Rod, and now we're talking
It's
about
Monday, man.
the porn industry. But didn't I believe Al Goldstein, who's the publisher of a well-known magazine called Screw, I think he had a talk show back then in New York cable where he'd interview people in the industry folks. I'm not talking about the Broadway.
Right.
I'm talking the off
entertainment.
Broadway.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was New York.
Well, on Broadway, if the chick's name is Broadway.
Yeah.
But,
Well. Yeah. Oh my. Boy. Okay. Oh, jeez. It's just like it's that it's
that sort of Monday.
It is. I'm sorry, but these are all. These are true stories.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to keep it clean. I'm trying to not go down the path
I'm gonna blow your mind.
of Doc Normal's first foray in New York City, and it's a raunchy pit of raunch pre-Giuliani.
Right. I'm gonna blow your mind. Never been to New York.
Ah,
Never been to the Big Apple.
See,
someday I'm gonna get there though.
It's really tourist.
If I can make it there, I can make it anywhere.
That's right. It's very touristy.
Yeah.
You know, like Times Square is. I took a little video and stuff when I was there recently. I haven't been there in a few years now. I was going there doing some jobs and things, and then of course we got our friend Betty who's there,
right,
tearing it up, doing all sorts of stuff, making her T-shirts.
She's there, and she's right there.
You might see Betty on the street with a trench coat, open it up. Do you want some buttons? Do you want some T-shirts?
Right.
I made these.
Hey, Doc, guess what? Betty just sold me a Rolex.
Yeah. No, you get in trouble now.
No,
that's what Julie, you know, because they were all like fake stuff imported from China.
But that was half the charm, right?
That's why I got
You're down there to get a fake Rolex.
That's what I got it. I'm sure it violates some law, but who cares? And then I'd wear it around. And then I knew this rich guy who had one, and we'd compare Rolexes each time we'd get together. Well, mine has this. And you know, a Rolex, a true royal Rolex, an Oyster Perpetual, they're heavy because it's all mechanical inside. That's the whole deal, right? You can dive with it. Yeah. And my Rolex is like, woo, it's as light as a Timex. Who knew?
I see your Rolex and raise you a Rolex. Yeah.
So there you go. That's what's going on in the world. It's all just the reason I'm in a grumpy mood is because it's either bad news or politics.
Yeah. We'll save that for Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the only political, the only political thing that I that's kind of interesting.
Okay.
Is I guess England, the Queen.
Yes.
So she's supposed to give the Queen's speech.
Yes.
But that has been delayed. I think because something about forming the government.
Yeah.
After the election that they had.
They're calling the hung parliament. After the disaster.
The hung parliament.
The hung parliament, yeah.
Speaking of New York City back in the 80s, we have a hung parliament in the UK.
Right. Speaking of but in New York terms, hung parliament means a new album by the Funkadelic, right?
What?
Yeah. You know Parliament Funkadelic?
Yeah.
Yeah, their new one's called Hung Parliament. No,
well, there you go.
Yeah. I'm just trying to...
so, I don't know. So just
trying to blend it all in.
So they're trying to form this government, and they've got these weird union... What is it? What did they align... The Tories, right? The Conservatives.
The Conservatives, yes.
And they aligned with some dudes up in Ireland.
Far
right folks up in Ireland. Northern.
I mean, if it was France, it'd be Marie Le Pen.
Is it Ireland or Northern Ireland that they... I can't... I get confused. I think it's Northern Ireland.
Could be.
I don't think it's Ireland. I think it's the Northern
Ireland, yeah.
And it's far right folks.
Far right folks.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
They want to shut down all migration, everything.
Oh,
they
good.
They Trump on steroids.
Yeah.
And they narrowly won, but not enough to carry a majority, which means Theresa May ain't going to be able to pass nothing in this next legislative session.
And so when this happens, the Queen then gives a speech, right? And kind of endorses the government.
Right.
That's her role.
Yeah, formally the Prime Minister goes to her and says, I would like to form
and she did
government.
That.
Yeah.
May did that over the weekend, right?
Yes. Very tentatively, though. The Queen was very,
So how does that go? It's like Theresa May goes, Your Majesty. Yes.
Yes.
I'd like to form a government.
Sounds like Oliver Twist right there.
Yes.
I'd like most soup, please. Please, so most soup.
What kind of government would you like to form? Well, a coalition government. Yes.
Yes.
And that was it. That was the meeting.
Yeah, but then the Queen's like, tell me about these far rightists up in Northern Ireland, shall we?
Well, see, trying to avoid the politics, but this is light enough politics.
It's light, yeah.
So there's then someone came out and said, that Trump visit, with the state visit, which includes the Queen.
Yeah.
So they came out and said that that one's going to be on hold for a while.
Yeah, there's a...
So interesting.
It is a little bit of the backstory to that is, I guess Trump did not want to go over there unless he was welcomed like a conquering, like the old Caesar's triumph, marching into the streets with the the little garland on the hair and stuff. Yeah, he said he did.
Oh, you mean like Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, he said he didn't want to go there. He said he
God.
didn't want to go to England until his welcome was the quote that came out was rapturous.
This is exactly why we need a monarchy in the U.S.
Ooh.
So these people who are full of themselves could become the figurehead monarch and be happy. It's like, yeah, just go over there. Oh yeah, gold toilets.
Sure.
Wonderful. Have a good time. And then we can actually have adults run the government. Like a prime minister and forming a coalition government and all that.
Damn that democracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was interesting to hear people try to explain the democracy in the UK, which is like, think about it. You have to form a coalition government of... And it's like, oh, well, of course, we've got a two-party system. Oh, yeah. That's great.
They've got a 6-party system, 7 on, and that's on a very conservative day.
Anyway, so
you got the Scottish Unionists, you got the Democratic Socialist Party, I believe, you're Democratic, and then you got the Tories, of course, Conservative Party. Then, of course, you got Jeremy Corbyn and the Labour Party.
And they're the ones that did pretty well in that election.
They did. They picked up, I think 30 seats.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, it is a hung parliament.
So here it is right here. I actually, just for reference, and I just read the headlines. Queen's speech. Oh, you gotta love this though.
Okay. The Queen's
This is
speech.
the Queen.
There she is.
Look, wearing the crown.
Oh,
like it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, she's not messing around.
Like
She puts that
she's on the gold throne with the big crown and the cape thing that they've got there and the jewels, the crown jewels, literally.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, the only thing she's missing is the scepter.
Yeah, the scepter's got to be around there somewhere.
Yeah.
Look, they got gold microphones coming out of that statue.
Right.
Man, it doesn't get any better than that as far as a monarchy goes.
No, I mean there is no
it
is not done by half. There ain't no the president's up there. No, man, she's got the gold. She's got the crown jewels. She's got it all, man.
So that's the speech that she would give, wearing all of the regalia.
Yeah.
It will not be taking place as planned on the 19th of June. Ministers say they do not know.
Yeah.
If the Queen's speech can be delivered on time, because of post-election talks between the Conservatives and the Democratic Unionist Party.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that the guys?
That is the far right group.
The Democratic
Unionist Party. There's nothing democratic about those guys.
Are they Brexit people?
Oh, full on. They are They are.
Close the borders down.
Ooh, they're beyond. Is there a beyond Brexit? Because those guys are it, man.
I like the second line of this is a soccer reference. The set piece event is scheduled to take place on Monday, 19th of June. The set piece event. So I believe we'll be doing some corner kicks before the Queen's speech.
Right. Queen just does one of those little Pele scissor kicks. She's doing it. She's working it. Theresa May's trying to, she's trying to cover the goal. But
Labour says the government was in chaos.
I bet.
See, this is politics. English politics.
Right.
Like that.
I totally blew it last night to another thing I blew. Because I was...
I don't know, 0.2 on your DUI.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that like that. Another thing I blew...
Well, luckily I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I usually I DVR the British Parliament, right? The House of Commons. Love that stuff.
You do. You watch that.
I do, man.
You'll probably have an update for us on...
oh, yeah. And I forgot to DVR it. Totally.
I'm sure you have days to... you have time to...
I can check it out.
Yeah. I think...
It's online.
I think this is an ongoing, updated story.
Yes. But I really wanted to see the aftershock of it, right? Like, is he, American politics is so tame by comparison of British. I mean, people think, well, no, Jason, how can you say that? British politics are all refined, oh my gosh, it's great. They will just thrash each other, but everything's got such a cool, I think that you could probably say the worst thing you could say to somebody on the face of the planet, but if you said it with a British accent, it's all good, right? And so British politics, man, they're just going back and forth, calling each other names and names and names, and I love it. It's like, talk about a great, boxing match. Mm-hmm. British House of Commons, bring it on. This is great.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy Corbyn, you twit.
Calm down.
Right.
Yeah. I haven't watched it in a long time. I used to watch it on the cable. Isn't it like C-SPAN late night? It's sort of like the where C is the Skinamax of C-SPAN. It's like, now for your political porn,
right?
The House of Commons. Ooh, right. They're going to yell at each other and call each other...
oh, you twit!
Yeah.
But the cool thing about it, though, is at least on the West Coast, C-SPAN, it's 6 and 9 our time.
Yes.
You can see it at 6 or the replay at 9. So, you can, folks, set your DVRs. But one of the coolest thing is that speaker, right? The speaker, mm-hmm. He's up on his little, wooden throne there. And he's got this real disheveled sort of robe on. He looks like he just got out of Hogwarts, all right?
Right.
And his hair is all askew. And whenever they're going and he has to shut him up, he'll bang his gavel, and he'll say, the questions must be answered. Control yourself, man. I love that. It's great.
Yeah, there's always sometimes...
You will have time to answer it. Take a deep breath. And it's like, it's great. Control yourself, man.
I like it when they're yelling at each other.
That's the best. Yeah. You get the backbenchers literally throwing crap.
Yeah. When they throw stuff in
there. It is one step away. It's like the British Jerry Springer, right? It's great.
Well, it used to be... if I recall, this used to be what our Congress was like as well. Even back worse, fist fights that would break out and duels and all of that.
Pre-Civil War, guys are getting caned, right? Mm-hmm. And then when the guy from Maine, I forget his name in a moment because it's Monday morning, but he goes on a he wants abolitions. A guy from South Carolina beats him up, just thrashes him with a cane. His own constituents mail him more canes.
Mm. Wow.
Just, that's what's going on down in...
No, there were fist fights and all that in Congress, in the early Congress. And, and that's why those rules and the rules... The honorable gentleman from Missouri,
right.
That's why they say that in Congress, is to avoid the...
decorum, you got to have your decorum.
Yeah, we don't want the fist fights breaking out or whatever. Although I personally would encourage it. Right. I'd like to see Jeff Merkley just stand up and, beat...
He jumps off a lectern.
Pick someone on the conservative side.
He's giving McConnell just a flying elbow, right? Yeah. That would be just fantastic.
Merkley. Yeah.
Welcome to Senate.
Come on, Wyden. You want a piece of this? Warren, get over here.
You got Michael Buffer too, right? Ladies and gentlemen.
Here comes Franken from behind. It's cage match.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Senate Cage Match. I'm your host, Chip. It's like UFC, right?
Yeah.
This is gonna be great.
Yeah. So that's the politics. We'll do.
Yeah.
We'll
worry about that later.
We'll do politics on Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll worry about that.
We'll get all hot and lathered up. We did need a sports update. We talked about this on Friday, and we just mentioned blowing a DUI, and we had that open Tiger Woods story.
Right.
And so the thing that's hit today is Tiger Woods checks back into rehab to keep his kids, his custody dealio there. It looks like this is online. This is a bunch of folks, but the rumor is it's the Vicodin. So,
oh boy,
because remember they said that they had the report and he didn't. He blew a zero.
Yeah.
On the thing, but
so he was whacked out on meds.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's that whole custody thing and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So that was just an update on the sports. So here's a thing that's bothering me a little bit. You know, I like NASA.
Of course.
And I try not to be a crazy conspiracy theorist, but I could play one on podcast if you'd like. So the story is space.com.
Yes.
Space.com is a great place to get your space news, just space.
Big fan.
.com.
Yeah.
Actually, Spaceflight Now is a good one, too. Watch a NASA rocket create colorful artificial clouds over the U.S. East Coast tonight.
Wow.
What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing.
Update, June 12th. Scientists and engineers at NASA's Wallops Flight Facility now aim to launch a Terrier-improved male-mute sounding rocket tonight. What is that?
No idea.
This is space. Did they get hacked? Terrier improved male mute sounding rocket tonight between 9 and 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We should check in with our New York folks. A small NASA rocket will launch to create colorful artificial clouds on Sunday night, June 11th. Oh, so this was yesterday.
Oh.
And you can watch all the action live, weather permitting. Why? What is this?
I don't know.
Okay, so all I gotta say is this. You know all those people with the chemtrails and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Not helping NASA. Not helping at all.
Right, yeah. Don't they call it like cloud seeding or something when they try to...
Yeah. I mean, all the people who are like talking about dumping all this stuff. And there is actually...
Is someone bored over there? Dude, what do you want to do this weekend? I don't know, man. There's really nothing on TV. Hey, we could make colorful artificial clouds, dude. Really?
What is this?
Sweet.
I'm trying to figure out why we're doing this. The rocket will deploy 10 soft drink sized canisters. Oh my word!
Jeez.
This is
What are they doing
this is
over
nicknamed
there?
the Jonestown rocket.
Right.
Oh. 10 soft drink sized canisters which will release barium, strontium, and cupric oxide vapor to form blue, green, and red artificial clouds.
You know, in a time where they're literally trying to cut everything, is this what you want to be using taxpayer money on? Let's do artificial colored clouds. What do you mean our budgeting got cut by 80%?
Well, there's a reason. There's a science fact reason.
Yeah.
Again, NASA not helping with the chemtrail crowd right now when you're actually doing this.
Can't we talk about rovers or something, or Hubble, or...
Yeah, the barium strontium, I believe this is not the first time that this has happened, which actually, if you go and research the chemtrail crowd, they will point to this type of research and go, this is what they're putting in the atmosphere. How is this good? You know, and you're like, I don't know. Let me just drink more coffee and do this. So
someone get Bill Nye on the phone. We need him to explain this to us.
Yeah, so let's see. We're worried about climate change, but this is the... don't get me started on the climate change stuff.
There's two scientists, right? And they're sitting around in some executive NASA lounge. Like, hey, Bob. Yes. Got an idea. Just got an idea. What do you think would happen if we did this?
Exactly.
Oh, let's do it. Why not? Screw it.
No one will care. It will look pretty from space.
Right.
These clouds,
it'll look pretty.
These clouds are vapor tracers. Allow scientists on the ground to visually track particle motions in space.
Oh gosh.
NASA officials wrote in a mission update, these clouds may be visible along the mid-Atlantic coastline from New York to North Carolina.
Oh my gosh! If I'm like an alien from Zebulon 5 in deep space, I'm looking through my little scope and I'm like, they're doing what? You got to be kidding! Are the humans getting bored again?
Well, it's again. I just say if you don't like the whole conspiracy theory, chemtrail folks, what you don't want to do is put colorful things. Oh, here it is. I just wanted to click. Oh God,
you can do it.
Stuff is not working today.
There it is.
That's what it looks like. trying to see if I can make it bigger. Because it looks so innocent.
Sure. What could go wrong?
Here. There it is. That's your little rocket with the doors and the clouds. Does that look like something out of a sci-fi movie? We have...
Yeah.
We will, this is something Blofeld, like a plan that Spectre has, that Bond has to...
Look at my laser that is going to...
Look at the doors open.
Yeah.
It's like Bond's going to have to step in.
Right.
Like, put James Bond in the back there.
Right.
Beating that scientist up as he's prepping the chemtrail rocket.
You're not putting that into space. And that's a Smith & Wesson, and you've had your 6.
I'll never stop.
Drop the canisters.
Yeah.
Drop the canisters.
Drop the canisters, Blofeld.
Right. Oh.
I have a diabolical plan. I am going to spray poison all...
That's what happened. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a part of the plot of Goldfinger? We talked about Goldfinger on Friday.
Yeah.
Wasn't that also in the plot? That was what Pussy Galore was doing. In the planes, they were spraying the nitrous gas to put everyone to sleep.
Oh, gosh.
Everything that's going to happens in a James Bond film.
You know, I'm expecting to see, they're like, in science news today, NASA dropped soda pop sized canisters of, whatever, onto to seed and make artificial colors. And totally unrelated news today, Boston had 2 inches of acid rain. And totally unrelated news.
What do you have for me, M?
Right.
Bond, you must stop the Terrier-improved Malamute-sounding rocket. Scheduled for launch on June 11th. Do you think you can do it?
I'll do my best, M.
We wouldn't put the antidote in the heel of your left shoe. We need you to...
In other news, the Queen will not be giving her speech. You need to convince her.
I'll do my best, M.
She needs to make that speech.
Anyway.
To run interference about the cloud seeding.
I don't normally go to the conspiracy... Well, Alex Infowars must be having a field day with this one, right?
That's his bread and butter, right? He's gonna he's gonna tie in that to
tie that into?
Oh, he'll tie that into
it's genocide. It's genocide.
Right. Corpse reanimation, and probably he'll tie in mad cow disease into it too, right?
I love the corpse reanimation bit.
Because you got to throw some zombies,
that.
Right? Alex Jones, he's frothing at the mouth. Yeah. Zombies, they're here. They're, of course, he's got that voice like this. Yeah, zombies everywhere.
Great.
Anyway.
Bond, what do you know about corpse reanimation and Alex Jones?
Alex who?
Only what I've read in the dossier, M.
Wasn't he? Didn't I see him?
You're going to go to Texas, Bond.
Oh, jeez.
You're going to infiltrate the InfoWars.
Yeah, Sean's not going to stand out in Texas. Oh, no, he'll blend right in, right? He's gorgeous thing, and then he's got his tuxedo and the cowboy hat on,
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I think I'll play a round of golf with Alex Jones.
Do you imagine Jones on the freaking golf course? I can't believe I missed that drive.
He's breaking stuff over his knees. He's in the sand trap, just, sand's flying up. Alex Jones.
You chipped that one there, Jones.
That's what we should do. We should have skits. Alex Jones at different places, like Alex Jones going through the Burger King drive-thru. Ain't it a Whopper?
Well, so there was big news, which there was big news this weekend.
Okay.
Alex Jones, InfoWars.
Really?
News. And I watched Twin Peaks instead. Okay.
Good call.
And we can, But Megyn Kelly has her new NBC show.
Yeah, she's been taking quite the rap.
And her first one was Putin.
Which
that was...
did not go over well.
No. But her interview last night was Alex Jones, InfoWars. Did you see that?
Mm-mm. Yeah, stay away from Alex Jones. What's going on with him? Is he
well,
frothing?
I mean, he's a media guy, but I think they're giving it. Yeah,
before he was taken seriously, right? He used to be on all the time.
A vitamin salesman?
Right. No, he used to be on Coast to Coast with George Norrie all the time. But he was that weird, wacky guy, about this conspiracy theorist. And you listen and you never, you knew not to take him seriously. This guy was just out there. It's entertainment purposes only. And then, and now he's like the media darlings for the far right wackos.
So the blowback that Megyn Kelly is getting interviewing Alex Jones, I'm looking at this AOL Entertainment. Kelly released a preview of her sit down with the far right host. I thought this was last night, maybe not. Almost immediately faced backlash for her decision to normalize Jones, to put him in the spotlight. And what they're protesting to NBC and Megyn Kelly is you're featuring a guy on mainstream media, conspiracy theorist, one of the poster boys for that conspiracy is the Sandy Hook.
Yes,
the set, and so people are what they do, like the NBC, whatever, calling the switchboard and protesting Megyn Kelly.
Let me ask you this question.
I don't know.
And I'm not talking about politics. I'm just talking about media.
No, that's not politics. That's media.
Yeah. But my question is, why do you think NBC did that? I mean, do you think that they're trying to go after some of the Fox News crowd?
Why would they do anything at all?
Money?
Ratings?
Yeah.
Money? But now you have a case where, interestingly enough, right, Megyn Kelly's going to interview Vladimir Putin. She's going to interview Alex Jones.
Yeah.
People are going to watch. Ratings.
Who's next? David Duke?
Who's this guy? Maybe, right? Who's this guy? Alex Jones. People are going to tune in. They hate him. Some people love him. Some people hate him.
Yeah.
They're going to tune in. Ratings.
Yeah.
But the big deal that we have now with the internet is like what's happening over at Fox News is the people come and they're organizations and things like Media Matters, which is, I think, a kind of a democratic, but they'll come in and say, hey, we're going to get a whole bunch of people who say we're going to boycott your sponsors on this show.
Yeah.
And so they all try to force the sponsors to pull sponsorship when they don't like something.
Right.
Like, oh, you're going to interview Alex Jones? Fine. This is exactly what happened over there in Hannity World and Fox News.
Well, O'Reilly.
Well, O'Reilly. Yeah, that's how they...
Yeah.
That's
how they finally got him off the air.
Finally, but, he kind of was, they were pushing him out. I don't know. But so that's what's going on.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see if they keep doing this, like with Megyn Kelly, like the Alex Jones thing. Are there going to be boycotts of the sponsors and what's going to happen there?
You would think that's what's next and coming. Yeah, because Jones, I mean, like I said before, I remember that guy when he was doing late night talk with George Norrie, and it was all entertainment. You knew the guy was full of it. You knew the guy. It was, and now
I don't remember him from before. I just remember seeing InfoWars pop up in the early on YouTube, but I don't know of him before that.
Art Bell, George Norrie there.
Oh, was he?
Oh, he was.
Oh, see,
he was on there a bunch, but he was known as kind of like the wacky guy you never took seriously. Heck, even Norrie really didn't take him seriously.
Right.
I was like, yeah, right. Well, yeah, right, Alex. And now you got all these guys on the far right that are taking this guy for gospel, and it's just...
Yeah, that's the problem. See, we want to avoid the politics. But the thing is if you have someone out there doing crazy stuff, I don't know, fine. And it's like I'm saying, with NASA putting up a rocket, putting stuff up in the atmosphere...
Yeah.
Believe me, every Chemtrails person is going to be out going, see, I told you. If only we could get James Bond to stop this.
Right.
So, yeah, it's just, stuff is going to go down between here and Wednesday. Mm-hmm. The Xbox is out. There's a new Xbox coming out, 4K.
Yeah?
My understanding is it's $100 more. So in technology, we got a 10.5-inch iPad Pro with a big screen. Xbox One X is 4K. I think they were expecting something with the virtual reality.
Yeah.
But it's ready for virtual reality, but not quite ready. That's kind of what I got. I mean, it will be with 4K. So that's kind of where the virtual reality thing. I still got to do the goggle thing and do that. I was all excited about it. Well, and we could here do it. Yeah.
Could we?
Yeah. Well, not right this second, but it's it's feasible.
It's feasible.
And I've been thinking about that for a year or more of doing a live stream. Yeah. You just have one camera, but but then you'd look over here and here's just some old stuff.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It's neat. You see the old original Amiga over there.
Yeah.
One of these days I'll have to give a tour.
Right.
So there's,
pre-show, post-show sort of little tour. What goes on behind the scenes.
But who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, then, if you want to care again, I've got a story for you. Are you ready for this?
Care again, Jason.
Hot off the Associated Press.
Yes.
Dateline, Rochester, New Hampshire. Deer jumping across road knocks 80-year-old off motorcycle.
What?
Yes. A deer jumped across a road in New Hampshire and knocked an 80-year-old Maine woman off a motorcycle, seriously injuring her. Carol Delisle of Wells was riding as a passenger on an 84-year-old Clifford Westcott's three-wheel motorcycle Saturday. Rochester police say the deer was crossing the road and tried to avoid hitting the motorcycle by jumping over it. Oh, geez. How'd you like to be going on you're just cruising down a Maine highway. It's a nice day in Maine. You're chilling out.
You're 80 years old.
You're 80 years old, You're thinking about what you're going to do at bingo tonight and what you're going to, early bird at IHOP.
Woman on a motorcycle.
She's a rebel.
You think she's thinking about bingo and IHOP?
Yeah, Grandma's a rebel, dude. I think she's playing extreme bingo, dropping LSD before.
Probably gonna go check out that new Xbox or something.
That's what she's doing.
Yeah,
she's speeding back from a budget buy or whatever, going home to get on the Xbox, and then she gets knocked over by a deer. It happens. I guess in Maine it happens.
Do you know Katy Perry is doing a live stream thing?
I heard that.
Yeah.
She made some announcement, I guess, this morning on the Today Show.
Well, yeah, but she's doing a live stream on YouTube. I've seen it pop up on YouTube when I was working on YouTube, quite literally. I was posting the Wednesday show that I did, the Silent Film Festival folks.
Right.
The kids. The young people.
The young'uns.
And then I actually watched it.
Yeah.
Which was like, wow. I mean, you forget that these are all done by young people. Mm-hmm. It's like they're, short quality caliber things.
So talented.
A few of them were just like, I think I'm about to have a tear. I mean, it was really heart-wrenching. The first one was like, oh my. Yeah. I'm feeling emotional, but
I feel it in the
it was good. You'll have to see it. You'll see what I mean. But I was getting that all up, and then it keeps popping up Katy Perry live. So she was eating weird stuff with that Corden guy, and then apparently she was talking about her going back to where this whole conversation started. We wrap it up in a bow. She was talking about her former friends, lovers, rating them on a scale.
To all the girls I've loved before.
This is Katy Perry. I guess these were the guys she was with. I don't follow Katy Perry that much.
Yeah.
Somewhat controversial.
Yeah.
But that was the live stream where she was rating her old boyfriends.
Gotcha.
Oh, he's a good lover. Oh, he was pretty good. Actually, it kind of was like what I read in the gossip thing is they were all good.
Yeah.
One maybe a little bit better than the other, but they were all solid.
They're all solid.
The world we live in.
Yeah.
The world we live in.
Yeah.
When you do a live stream and rate your old exes. I don't know.
That's what we're gonna surprise Jay-Z with on Friday.
We need to do more research.
Jay-Z, rate your lovers.
Oh no, we will not be doing that.
I know.
No,
we
will not be doing that. will put the kibosh on that. You can do it. You can do it. And we won't be doing that for me either.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, we want a cool story. I mean, we want a cool show on Friday. Jason rating his lovers is like American Horror Story.
Yeah.
No one wants to,
Yeah, no. This is just not like... That's not what we're going to do here.
No.
This is not a personal confessional. But anyway, I think we need to follow up on this Katy Perry story. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, she's controversial. She said things.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, she said some like racial things.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with her.
I actually mentioned this at one point to my kid.
What was her take on it?
It was like, Katie's got some
issues.
Yeah, issues and weird stuff, And I was like, controversial, saying things, like you said. It was like, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But she's doing a live stream. I think she's got an album out, so she's pushing a live stream and an album.
Gotcha.
So, anyway. Well, I think on that note... there's a lot of news. There's, of course, tons and tons and tons and tons of politics that we'll be tracking. There will be developments on Wednesday. I'm sure we'll be talking about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sessions has this stuff here on Tuesday. Tomorrow, I believe he goes.
Yeah.
So we'll have the fallout from that. That should be a hoot.
The Ninth Circuit is breaking another travel ban defeat in the Ninth Circuit.
Right.
So I think there'll be things happening. Hopefully, the world will be.
What's going to be the title to this show? I mean, we went all over the place.
Earlier.
Yeah,
I had it earlier.
Okay,
it just pops in my head. I don't know. What was last? Fridays.
Yeah,
was LeBron versus the Aztecs.
Oh,
you remember that?
Great. That's great. Yes. Yeah, we were all over the place today, so I'm kind of interested to see what title you
I think we came up with it. So
excellent.
Anyway, any parting final words, final thoughts, Jason? What's your favorite episode of Popeye? Because that's what we should have been doing for the last 2 hours, showing cartoons, wearing. But we need to get we need to work and get homemade vests.
Yes.
Buttons. I have a lot of buttons.
Like Rod Anders, we could...
Ramblin' Rod.
Yeah.
Come in here, do the smile contest.
Oh, yes.
And make people happy.
Right. The winner of today's smile contest is young Richard Butte out of Oak Grove, Oregon.
Oh. So anyway, any final...
All right. Here's a real quick final thought and quick final story. So yesterday I'm sitting in, I meet Richard, young Buddha, meet him up at Subway because we're going to go check out a comic book shop, right? And I get on up to Subway there, and these people, they ritually come in like every week on a Sunday, and they have their 6-inch sandwich, and Rich talks to them. It's like, and so elderly lady and husband come over, and they start talking, and I happen to be wearing a Rex Putnam football T-shirt.
Imagine that.
Yeah, he goes, Putnam, do you, what's your affiliation with them? And I said, well, I went to Putnam, did a couple radio things for Putnam, yada, yada, yada. And he says, so you live in the area? And I said, yep. Moved into Oak Grove when I was 8 years old, been here pretty much ever since, except for a short stint out in Forest Grove. Well, anyway, and he's like, okay, I am going to test your, I guess, Oak Groveness, right? I said, sure. And he says, the road that Rex Putnam is on, do you know it? I go, yeah, of course I know. It's Rothy Road. And he's like, you're from Oak Grove. I was like, yes, I am, because there's a huge thing, Rothy or Rothy. A lot of people outside here, they always hear Rothy. Turns out he is a Rothy. His grandfather, hence the road was named after his grandfather, Rothy.
I'd fail this. I would not. I'd be like, it's that.
I screwed up though, right?
Yeah.
So he goes, okay. He goes, how about the road 1 block north of that? I go, oh, you mean Nafe? And he said, no. I go, what do you mean no? He goes, Actually, I know the family, and their pronouncement is Naff.
Oh, God.
I'm like, crap, I've lived here all these years, and I totally messed up, but then I had to redeem myself, right? I'm like, screw this. I said, listen, I said, I am going to make this up to you right now. And he says, he kind of gets this quirky look on his face. He goes, how are you going to do that? And I said, all right, when they built the Safeway down there and the Food for Less, when they first wiped out, there was a road that was completely wiped out, no longer on the map. What was the name of the road? And he's like, oh my gosh, I don't know. And I said, Marguerite Lane.
Wait.
I am a vault of useless information.
Margarita Lane?
No, just Marguerite.
Oh, I thought it was Margarita Lane. Like it could,
Right.
You
Yeah, because there was that one little side road that used to run up next to Sen's Dairy over there. It totally doesn't exist anymore. It's all gone. Marguerite Lane.
Well, I think we got to be careful out there, Jason.
Yes.
And say goodbye.
Yes, I'd say we're running a little bit over.
And a reminder that there is Rose Festival.
Yes.
And they have the Naval, it's Fleet Week.
Yeah, I think they're leaving right now, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Ships? Go down and watch the ships. I think they are, too.
Anchors
so go down
away,
and watch
boy.
the ships leave. You can see that on the Willamette River.
The Willamette, right.
Bye-bye.